Our big story tonight: precise, overwhelming, and effective. That's how the Pentagon is describing U.S.-led missile strikes against Syria, with President Trump declaring mission accomplished. Good evening, everyone. I'm Rachel Cole. The United States, Britain, and France launched more than 100 missiles by sea and air following a chemical attack in Syria. Team 12's Nicole Zymek spoke to members of our local Syrian community for their reaction. Nicole?
Rachel, in general, the Syrian Americans we spoke to say they're happy to finally see action. One, calling this a tipping point. But the question still remains: what comes next? The U.S. and its allies aiming for and hitting Syrian chemical weapons facilities. The Trump administration unleashing a round of fresh warnings.
Chemical weapons are a threat to us all.
From the United Nations Security Council.
When our president draws a red line, our president enforces the red line.
But is it enough?
As a Syrian American, I'll tell you that nothing's changed.
Born in America to Syrian parents, Dr. Zuhdi Jasser is the president of the American Islamic Forum for Democracy here in Phoenix.
A few missiles doesn't change what's happening in Syria. We need to start looking at a long-term strategy.
Dr. Jasser, who served in the U.S. Navy for 11 years, says the airstrikes may have hit chemical weapons supplies. But the president of Syria, Bashar al-Assad, will be a problem as long as he's in power.
So as a Syrian American, I would tell you, if you want a solution to a country that borders Israel, to a country that is using chemical weapons 40 miles from the Israeli border, then you need to start looking at a longer-term strategy that has a Bosnian-type template.
Syrians do feel forsaken.
Yasser Bittar is the director of development for the Karam Foundation, a nonprofit that's working to provide humanitarian response in Syria.
They've been crying out for help for 7 years and to no avail.
She's been to Syria herself in recent years and says the people have been waiting for action from the international community for almost a decade.
We've seen not only chemical weapons, we've seen conventional weapons, we've seen napalm, we've seen phosphorus, we've seen Scud missiles, and this has happened with absolute impunity. The Assad regime has been able to do it time and time again with no accountability. So to be able to see for once that there is a level of justice that was served, it is welcomed, to be honest, and it is welcomed by the majority of Syrians.
But both Jasser and Bittar agree this can't be a one-off strike.
Breath of fresh air to see kind of justice be served. But at the same time, the question is what's next? Syrians do want a broader strategy on Syria. We don't want the red line just to be chemical weapons when the majority of deaths are caused by Scud missiles.
The Trump administration says it's prepared for a sustained effort. But what that means will be revealed in time. Nicole Zymek, 12 News.